Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something from Bates. Let's open up the box and see what we got, because these are the newer Bates Rallyforce. Check these out. Yes, these are their tall version with the side zip, waterproof, overall excellent boot. I have to say, guys, while I'm closing the box, finally, Bates started making good boots. I don't know why, but I just seem to be hit and miss. Like, there were some pretty good boots from Bates, but I don't know, most of the stuff I always had some complaints, especially whenever it comes to the comfort level. Not the case here. Finally, Bates is making excellent, comfortable boots with excellent outsole, but we will talk about all the details later. As some of you already know, this is not just a regular boot review. This review is specifically for my ultimate survival boot section. Basically, if this weren't just your regular boots, although these are tactical boots, so you are getting them for something that involves survival, combat, tactical situation, right? So something bad happened and you were wearing these and you had to fight, you had to engage in combat, you had to run, do all of this, whatever is necessary for your survival, right? Maybe wear them for extended periods of time, sleep in them, and just wear them without taking them off for weeks. Would they be good? Would they be good for that? Well, how do we make judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, of course, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run and then a 5-mile walk, and then I continue wearing the boots or shoes for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is about 8 hours. And like I said, I love the comfort level of these boots, finally. And there are a few factors that contribute to the comfort level. Let's start with the first one, would be the weight. I got my scale over here. This is size 10, and size 10 is, I would say, about 17, 18 ounce. We'll see if I'm anywhere close. Wow, pretty good. Come on, camera, you can focus. We can focus. 18.4 on the scale, but let's see if the camera can. There you go, finally. 18.4. Excellent weight. For a full-size boot, this is a fantastic weight. Now, whenever it comes to the weight, to give you the reference numbers, if you're looking for something that is lightweight, okay, can be considered lightweight. If you're in the full-size boot category, you're looking for something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce, the more lightweight it is. Obviously, the more over 20 ounce, then you get a little bit of a heavier category. So 18.4, excellent weight for a full-size waterproof boot with, plenty amount of protection. We will talk about the protection later. Okay, what are the other factors that contribute to the comfort level? Flexibility of the outsole, one of them. And this right here is surprisingly very, very flexible. Not only it's very flexible, it also creases in all the right places. And where it does crease, the surface is very, very soft. So the pressure points are not even noticeable. So really, really good. Let's move on to the inner sole. We'll try to take it out. I think it does. Yep, there you go. Now, the inner sole also is excellent. Check this out. Very defined heel bed, very defined arch support, plenty of cushioning. Wow, Bates is killing it. They're doing a fantastic job. What happened, Bates? This is great. Now moving on, we have padding in the tongue, padding in the shaft, going throughout the whole shaft, surprisingly. Not just the ankles on the very top, but throughout the whole shaft. You have very nice padding going almost all the way down, alright? So your ankles are nice and comfortable. Same thing in the back, going through the whole toe box. You have this very soft fabric, overall very nice feel. Bates, wow, great job, guys. So on the comfort level, I am a huge fan of these. Very, very good job. Now moving on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. Yes, these are waterproof. As you can see, these boots, they feature the DRYGuard. This is Bates waterproof technology, and they do work pretty good. This technology, I haven't personally had any problems with that. Now, as you can see, the tongue is gusseted, and let me tell you exactly what the clearance for this gusseting is. Just about 6 inches. Now, what about the actual length of the shaft, just about above 6 inches. So Bates actually utilized the whole length of the shaft for the proofing. Excellent job, Bates. Sometimes I see boots that, you know, somebody makes boots and they have a 6-inch shaft and only like 3.5 inches of waterproofing because of the gusseting. Silly, very silly, but not the case here. So great job, Bates. Moving on to the protection now. Now, this is not a steel toe or composite toe or anything like that, so the toe is soft. Keep that in mind, don't drop anything heavy. But you do have a little bit of reinforcement with this heavier fabric, although keep in mind, this is very, very soft still. Obviously, with all the padding, you have good protection in the ankles, in the heels, and plenty of protection from the bottom, but we'll talk about the outsole later. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality wise, Bates, this is one of the things that was always good about Bates, is the quality. The build quality was always great. That's why Bates was one of the top choices for law enforcement, for military, because of the build quality. The only problem was the comfort. So quality stayed, and now we have the comfort. So great job. And usually I rely on Amazon reviews for, you know, quality, just checking what people have to say. Because these boots are brand new, they just came out, they're newer on the market. There are not a lot of reviews on Amazon just yet, but I'm pretty sure this will be picking up. Now let's talk about the design features. Lacing system here is very simple, designed more for being lightweight, as you can see, just some fabric hooks, closed ring hooks, nothing crazy over here. Very thin, firm strings, which are completely fine. The huge plus is having a side zip. In a boot like this, I think side zip is a must, because I mean, you really don't want to spend, you know, sitting there and tightening or untightening these strings every time you put this boot on. This just saves a lot of time, and I think that's a huge plus for a tactical boot, because if something bad happens and you are not wearing a boot, you want something that you can put on quickly, and this is the case over here thanks to this side zip, which locks in place with this Velcro, which is a huge plus again, because this zipper doesn't bounce around, doesn't create any noise, which is very, very important, especially in tactical situations. Okay, so let's move on to the criteria number 4 now, the outsole, traction and stability. Now you probably already noticed the Michelin. Yes, that's the same Michelin rubber that is used in the Michelin tires. Yes, and fantastic quality rubber. Probably I would say one of the best, being Michelin, Continental, and Vibram. That would be like a top 3 quality whenever it comes to the rubber. Obviously, brands, they have their own rubber that they use, like Salomon. They're pretty good as well. But this is really, really one of the top choices. Excellent rubber. Now, whenever I do my run and my walk, in order to test the outsole, I do it on a variety of different terrains. Some older asphalt, newer tarmac, dry sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, marble tile, just a bunch of different things. And this handles pretty well on pretty much everything. The only thing that is a little bit slippery on is the wet grass. So like wet, slippery surfaces that would be a little bit slippery, because it's not as much of aggression. I wish these grooves were a little bit, I mean, they are pretty sharp, but I wish that they were a little bit more angled, crisscross, instead of going out. Now, as you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but you will understand once you get it. Nevertheless, these are not really designed to be like a wet grass or like trail boot or like a hiking boot, right? So not really the purpose anyway, but on everything else it performs very, very well. Overall, this is an excellent outsole. On sandy surfaces it performs fantastic. On flat, shiny surfaces it performs fantastic. Yes, this is oil and slip resistant, and these little thin grooves, this is what gives that kind of suction effect to the shiny, slippery surfaces. Not like wet grass, but more like marble and tile. So outsole overall really, really good. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 5. Really quickly, the temperature. These are not really designed for winter. Can you use them in the winter? Absolutely. Although these are not insulated, but if you implement the insulated socks, you will do pretty good, because after all, these are waterproof and you have plenty of waterproofing clearance, pretty good. The only thing is they will be slippery, obviously, on ice, on snow. They might be decent on snow, but on ice they will definitely be very, very slippery. But just to be fair, I'm gonna mention that pretty much everything is gonna be slippery on the ice unless it's an ice boot. But for hot temperatures, these are surprisingly breathable. This fabric, even though it is waterproof, it still has breathability to it, so you're not overheating. I've been testing these boots in 95 degrees Florida heat and I did not overheat, so pretty good overall. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, sizing. These are true to the size, no problems at all. I would recommend getting a half a size bigger just so that you have a little bit of extra space between your toe and the front of the toe box, just for extra comfort. Moving on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. So if these really were your ultimate survival boots, right, would they be good? Honestly, I think this is a fantastic option. Fantastic option if you prefer tall, full-size boot that is waterproof, that is not as heavy on the protection, but more on the lightweight, right? Because you are sacrificing that lightness if you start implementing all of these heavier toe caps, more padding in the shaft, more reinforcement in the heel, thicker outsole rubber. All of that comes with a cost of being heavy. And to me personally, I would rather have a lighter boot with a little bit of less protection, but still lighter boot so that it doesn't restrict my movement. And if I do need to travel for extended periods of time, I still can. And if I do need to be fast, quick, whatever, I still can. And to me, this if I was going with a tactical boot, this would be in my top choices, which is kind of surprising because, like I said, I was disappointed in Bates, especially not because of the quality, not because of anything else, but because of the comfort. They just couldn't get it right. This here, I mean, they absolutely nailed, in my opinion. And let's move on to the very last criterion here. Is criterion number 8. The price, currently $159.95, $160 on Amazon. The link for Amazon is in the description below, so if you're considering to buy it, you can just click on the link in the description. Now, $160. It's definitely on the pricier side, definitely. Is it a fair pricing? Yes, absolutely. I mean, you have Michelin rubber, you have all of these features, waterproof, so definitely fair price. But there is some pretty serious competition in that price range. You have some competition from Salomon, you have some competition from Lova, you have some competition from Under Armour, like for example the new Under Armour Valsets Micro G. Fantastic tactical boot, really good. So really it comes down to kind of your personal preference. I know a lot of people who are in service, who are in law enforcement and military, they would definitely prefer, for the most part, most of them, I'm not speaking for everyone, but most would choose Bates over Under Armour because of the brand recognition, specifically to that kind of part of the branch, right? I guess careers. But if you are in the market for something like this, check out other reviews that I've done on this channel. Like I said, some Under Armour, some Salomon, some Lovas. There is plenty of variations. I really just want you to find the best for yourself, what that is out there, because at the end of the day, it always comes down to the fit and personal preferences, the things that you might appreciate that somebody else might not. So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this review? What do you think about this boot? If you found this review useful, please consider subscribing. Still a growing channel, so every subscriber definitely matters to me. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This is Ultimate Survival Gear. I'll see you guys in the next video.